One of the best ways to simplify not only your life, but the lives of your students is to connect your publisher content to your Blackboard course. So let's jump in and see how we're going to connect our Cengage materials to our Blackboard course. Now keep in mind that every publisher is different, and even within a publisher, different authors can choose to use different tools. So not every textbook works the same all the time. Keep in mind you can always contact the helpline for your publisher, and they will walk through all of these steps with you, from creating your publisher course to attaching it to your Blackboard course shell, and they will explain everything and walk through it with you. So if at any point what I'm demonstrating doesn't match up with what you're seeing, please remember you can always call your publisher for help. So I'm here in my Cengage account, and I have already pulled up my business communications course. Now I have all of my books that I have adopted or examined through Cengage will all be in a drop-down right here. I've already gone in and selected the business communications course, which is the one we're going to use for the demo today. So underneath, you can see I have my textbook information here. And if you do not see this information right here, you chose a version of the textbook that does not come with MindTap or online support. Some textbooks only have a hard copy textbook and they don't really have online materials. This one does. So if you only see a link for Instructor Resource Center, then you need to go back to your list and look for one that has MindTap support to it. Okay? So I'm going to choose Create a Course. And Cengage is going to ask me a few questions. Some things are required and some things are not. I'm going to tell Cengage to create a new course. And here I'm going to give the course a name. I like to stick to my course ID. This is for the summer of 2020. The start date and end date. I typically do not use the exact start and end date that the university has. I open it up a little bit early, and I definitely give myself a couple of weeks past the date when the course is actually supposed to end. It just gives me a little bit of flexibility and allows me to accommodate a student that maybe had an issue through the semester and maybe need an incomplete. Giving that extra week might help a little bit. Time zone. I am in Eastern time. And all of the rest you can leave blank. Remember, anything with a red asterisk is required. And it's creating my course for me. And now I have a course shell within the Cengage system. Okay, if I click this link here, it will take me actually into the Cengage course. If I don't want to do that right now and just want to attach this course to my Blackboard shell, I can do that. But I'm going to go on in and show you the inside of a Cengage course. So the first time you get into your Cengage course, it gives you this splash screen that verifies that you are actually in the correct course. You can turn this off in the settings. I'm just going to close it here. And I'm going to skip the tour. All right, so here is our basic Cengage window. You can see it opens up showing me the units of my textbook. I have these drop-down arrows here that will expand and show me the chapters that are within each unit. Other key things to notice here. I have this edit slider here that's going to turn on and off. Right now it's turned off. So I'm not allowed to assign or unassign or add assignments in any way because I've got the edit turned off. I can also click this link right here to take a look at all of my content by assignment date. I haven't assigned anything yet, so there won't be anything there. So I'm going to stay right here in the outline view, and I'm going to turn on this edit slider. So now that I have the edit slider, you can see that I have edit buttons here and my chapters. I'm going to expand this drop down for chapter 1. So you can see by default, this is a brand new course. I haven't changed anything other than turning on the edit, that it already has several things that are considered assigned to students by default. I may not choose to assign every single thing that the publisher thinks I should assign, and in this case I'm not. I have a lot of my own material that I like to assign to my students, so I don't assign absolutely everything from the publisher. So if you see items that you don't want to assign, like these two, I'm going to click the check and this other check. And you can see the minute that I selected one, it brought up this orange bar at the bottom. And this allows me to do bulk actions. So I can change settings, hide, edit dates, edit settings. And I'm going to turn these to practice instead of graded. Okay, verifying that it's done. And now you can see that they are no longer considered a graded activity. Now you don't have to do this at all. If we are incorporating our assignments from Cengage into Blackboard, then we can instruct our students to only do assignments that they see in their Blackboard course. But I have seen several students that tend to log into Cengage on their own, and they run the risk of doing assignments that aren't assigned for my particular course. So it's up to you. If you want to do this to unassign courses or unassign assignments, turn them into practice so that students don't do things that they don't necessarily need to do. You have the ability to select this edit and actually put a due date into an assignment that you want to assign to students. I have found that this is restrictive and it causes a lot more problems down the road. If you just leave these open and put your due dates into Blackboard, it keeps you from having to go back into Cengage and changing due dates and availability for the students, because Cengage does turn assignments off after a due date passes. So it's just easier for everybody if you don't use the due dates that are actually in Cengage. So I'm going to cancel out of this. And now we're going to go over to the Blackboard side and see how we're going to incorporate Cengage assignments into Blackboard. So I'm here in my week 1 folder in my course content area of my business communications course. Remember, all of our assignments are supposed to be in the course content area, and it's recommended that you organize your course content by week. It's just easier for students to keep up with what they're supposed to be working on week by week. So in order to actually incorporate my Cengage assignments into my Blackboard course, I'm going to be in my week folder, and I'm going to click the link here for partner content and then go to the content market. Within the content market area, you'll see all of the publishers that have agreements with and we have building blocks for in our Blackboard course administration. I'm in Cengage, so I'm going to choose Cengage. And the next thing it's going to ask is, what textbook are you using? And so I'm going to go down through the list here and find the textbook that I am using. And this one is Guffey. Oh, there we go. This is the textbook. And so once I've selected my textbook, it's going to ask me, do I want to create a new course now, or do I want to link to a course I've already created? And I'm going to tell it existing course because I was just in Cengage and created it. Once I select that, it's going to show me a list of all of the courses that I've created in Cengage that are attached to this particular textbook. I just created this one, so I'm going to select that and then click Continue. Now, I only have to do this the first time. I don't have to do this every time. This is actually connecting my course from Blackboard to the Cengage course. So we have two options here. Either I want to synchronize an overall course score, or I want to synchronize individual activity scores. I always select this one. This one will actually set up a gradebook column for each individual activity or assignment that I bring into Blackboard from Cengage. And click Continue. It's telling me it's complete. All right. So here it's asking me if I want to actually put a link to my textbook overall into my course content. I'm going to go ahead and do that so students have access to their textbook. And it's going to go in all the way at the bottom. This is just the textbook link. So let's say I want to actually put in an assignment. I'm going to go back to Content, mark it, back to this. And so now this time you see it looks a little bit different. So I've got my course, Unit 1, Chapter 1, and all of the tools that exist within Chapter 1 that I have available to me. So here you see is that Chapter 1 assignment that I turned off from graded to practice. You'll notice here that I have a checkbox to add it to my course, but since I turned off the grading for that particular assignment, there's no ability for me to add it to my gradebook. If I take a look at Chapter 2, there's Chapter 2 assignment. I did not turn that one off, so I do have the ability to add that to my course and to add it to the gradebook. I did not give a due date to it, and that's fine. So I'm just going to click this and notice that it automatically selected the second one. And I can select as many as I want to here. If I want activities from Chapter 2 and 3 all in this same folder, I can just continue on down and select the Chapter 3 assignment. And let's say I want to do this video activity also. Once I'm finished selecting, I'm going to click Confirm. And here it's going to confirm with me that I want the Chapter 2 and 3 assignment, as well as these items created for my gradebook. I can decline a gradebook column for any of these if I just want it to be an activity that they're assigned to do but isn't going to factor into their grade. And save. All right, it's going to take me back to Blackboard and verify here that it's going to be putting it into this week 1 folder. I can browse and change if I've changed my mind. If I realize that I wasn't actually inside my week folder, I can change that to week 1 or week 2. And it's verifying how many points are for each of the assignments, and then I'm going to click Submit. Okay. And as promised, it took me back to my week 1 folder. Remember that when you add new items, that Blackboard always puts things down at the very bottom. And you can see here I've got my Chapter 2 assignment and a brief description, Chapter 3 assignment, and the Chapter 3 video activity. Notice that I've got this gray arrow here, which allows me to go in, edit. I can change the information within here if I want to add some more descriptive information or to include for the students the due date for this particular assignment. Right now there's no indication in the assignment when this is actually due. So if I wanted to say that this is going to be due 5/31, now the students can see when this assignment is due. So now students don't have to wonder if they're supposed to be logging into Blackboard for an assignment or logging into Cengage for an assignment, because all of their assignments are going to be located right here in one place, no ambiguity. All they have to do to complete an assignment is click the assignment link, and it actually will open up Cengage and take them directly to that assignment. So they don't even have to go to Cengage and dig around in a different calendar or any folders in Cengage. It's going to open up this assignment right on their screens for them. The only thing to keep in mind is we need to train them how to turn off pop-up blockers so that the web browser itself doesn't stop them from going to another page. So here we are. This is the assignment that they need to complete. They can click and complete the assignment. So their questions and activities. When they are finished, Cengage will grade it for me, and it will take the grade from Cengage and put it into my Blackboard gradebook column. There's a different training video on how to manage your grade center within Blackboard, but this is an easy way to get your Cengage course attached to your Blackboard course so that everything's in one spot. Now, it seems like a lot, but it's only connecting those two things this very first time. After that, it's just like creating any other assignment and setting a due date. So, hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, remember that tools change, things change from author to author and publisher to publisher, but all of the publishers are fantastic with walking you through any questions you might have, any challenges you might have, getting your resources connected to your Blackboard course. So don't hesitate to give them a call. You've got resources all around you. All you have to do is reach out and ask for help. Hope this was helpful. I look forward to seeing you online.